Hello, McKinley Bears. Welcome to Kmbn 2.3. Before we move on with today's episode, we are going to take a look at some of the answers that we got to our fun fact question last time. Last episode's fun fact submissions were the answer to the question, what would you be if you could be anything for Halloween? Thank you to these McKinley Bears for submitting their answers. Remember, to submit an answer, all you have to do is go back to the principal page of the school website. All right, McKinley Bears, here we go with Kmbn 2.3. Now, I bet after just watching for maybe 10 seconds, I bet you'll figure out what our focus is for this episode. Enjoy and learn a lot. Did you know that your brain never stops thinking, even when you sleep? In fact, you need sleep so that your brain can process all the information it has collected during the day. Did you know that there are 86 billion neurons in your brain? Take a look at this picture of a neuron. Isn't that wild? That's in your brain, lots of them. Did you know that there are 400 miles of capillaries in your brain? Wow, what an incredible brain you have. Did you know that there are 100,000 miles of axons in your brain? That is about 4 trips around the Earth. Your brain is an amazing organ. So, have you figured it out yet? Do you know what the focus of this episode of Kmbn is all about? I bet you do. So, what is the fun fact that is the answer to these questions for this episode of Kmbn? We have 2 questions for Kmbn this time. Our first question, how many watts of electricity can your brain make? Did you know that your brain can make electricity? It sure can. And the next question is, how fast is the speed of a neural impulse in your brain? Take a look and see if you can find the answer. Then go back to the school website on the principal page and click on the Fun Fact Submission link to enter your answer and send it to me. So I am positive that you figured out what our focus is for this episode. And you're right, it's your brain. I have an awesome book that I'm going to share with you, and it's called Your Fantastic Elastic Brain. There are so many fascinating things about how our brains work and what our brains can do. And you know what? Who should know better than our students who are trying to use their brain every day in school? Your Fantastic Elastic Brain by Joanne Deek and Sarah Ackerley. An average person's short-term memory can hold 7 digits at a time. I think I can remember this number, 2831908. The human brain weighs about 3 pounds. Ugh, it feels like a lot more. The human brain is made up of about 85% water. I'm really thirsty right now. And the energy used by the brain is enough to light a 25-watt light bulb. It's lit! I must be thinking stuff. What does your brain really do? Does it fill the space between your ears? Hello in there! All I see is pink stuff. Well, yes, but your brain can do so much more. Your brain helps you think and remember, and name what you see and what you hear. Good kitty. It lets you move your body and feel both touch and emotions.
Your brain does all the things that make you, you. Like for this girl, she likes red foods. Her favorite word is elbow. She's a ping pong champ. She knows global landmarks. She's good at science, and she enjoys reading pirate books. So what is your brain? Is it a muscle? No, the brain is an organ in your body. It's made up of cells and tissue. The brain controls everything you do, everything you think, everything you feel, even everything that you dream. The brain has many parts that do all kinds of different jobs. This is a picture of your brain. Now, our brains really aren't these different colors, but it helps us see what the different parts are. The blue part on this picture is called the cerebrum. That orange part is called the prefrontal cortex, or the PFC. That's at the front, like where your forehead is. The little yellow orangey spot is called the amygdala. And then there's a red area on that diagram, and that area is called the cerebellum. And then the green part is called the hippocampus. So let's figure out what each of these parts of your brain do. The cerebrum, that blue part in the picture, is the largest part of your brain. It helps you think and speak. You can say things like, I think, therefore I am. That's deep. The cerebellum portion of your brain, which is red in that picture, is a small part at the back of your brain that helps your muscles to coordinate your movement and your balance so that you can walk, you can ride a bike, you can play tag. The prefrontal cortex, which is the PFC for short, is the part of your brain behind your forehead. It lets you make plans and decisions, like decide if you want mystery meat or secret soup for lunch. Now, the hippocampus, which is that green part, is at the center of your brain, and it works like a filing cabinet. It helps you store and find memories. The amygdala, which is that tiny yellow section in the picture, is a tightly packed group of cells deep within the center of your brain, and that controls your emotions. When you feel excited or angry or embarrassed or frightened or sad or happy, they all come from the amygdala in your brain. Now, you also have neurons in your brain. They are everywhere. They are tiny brain cells that make electrical signals to send messages to other cells in your body, telling them what to do. When you were born, you were very little. Your brain was small and not so strong. As you get older, your body grows and gets stronger. As part of your body, your brain grows and learns to do new things. And you can make your brain do even more. Your brain grows very fast during the first 10 years of your life. This is the magic decade when you can help your brain grow faster and be more powerful. Just like lifting weights helps your muscles get stronger, learning new things strengthens your brain. You can give your brain a good workout by trying to learn many different things. Like elastic bands that stretch when you pull them, even things that are hard at first, or that you don't like to do, or that you don't do very well, get easier when you keep trying. Think about the first time you played soccer. You probably couldn't kick the ball or make many goals, but as you kept going to practices, you learned more about the rules of the game and followed your coach's directions. The muscles in your legs and feet got stronger, your movements were more coordinated, and you could run farther and faster. Learning more and practicing what you learned let you play better and have more fun. Practice really does make perfect, or at least much better. Even when you make a mistake while you're learning something new, you are still training your brain. You will remember that mistake and try something else until you get it right. Now, making mistakes is one of the best ways your brain learns and grows. If you aren't willing to risk being wrong, you won't take the chances that stretch your elastic brain. Now, you can stretch the part of your brain that controls your feelings too. If you are frightened about taking a risk like learning to swim, finding the courage to put your face in the water stretches your amygdala. It will remind you that you overcame your fear. So, you will be braver the next time something scares you, like diving into the water. Learning something new causes the brain to grow more connections among the neurons. With more connections, the neurons can send and receive more messages. These connections help to stretch a part of your brain and make it more elastic, so that it can hold more ideas and information. How does the brain stretch and grow? Well, neuro means that the word it is part of has something to do with the brain. A sculptor molds, shapes, and carves things out of clay or wood or stone. So, you shape your brain when you make it bigger by adding new things you know and can do. So you are a neurosculptor. When you learn something new, you're building on what you have already learned. In the same way that your muscles in your body work together when you want to lift a heavy object or kick a ball, the different parts of your brain work together when you're learning something new. So, for instance, if you're learning to play the piano, the amygdala makes you want to learn to play the piano. The cerebrum helps you decide to practice. The cerebellum calls up the memory of watching and listening when your piano teacher showed you how to play a new piece of music. Then, your cerebellum sends messages through neurons to the muscles in your wrists, hands, and fingers so that you can hit the right notes. The next time you play that piece of music, the parts of your brain and body will know how to work together, and you will play the song more easily. The brain that makes you really is an amazing organ. It controls what you think, do, feel, and remember. Your brain is growing very fast during your first 10 years of life, and now we know that you can help it grow. When you try hard to learn something new, connections grow from neurons and attach to other neurons. Then, your brain can send messages faster, making part of your brain bigger and stronger. Making mistakes really helps you learn because your brain keeps trying new things and stretching until you figure out the answer to your problem. You are shaping a more elastic brain when you learn new things that build on what you already know. The more different kinds of things you learn and think about, the more you can learn, know, and enjoy. The harder you try without giving up, the more you will learn. You really can train your brain to be fit and strong and to keep stretching and growing throughout your whole life. Thank you so much for joining me to learn more about your fantastic elastic brain. Keep stretching.